Here we go again.
I genuinely thought I was having a mental lapse about a year ago when I first encountered what the internet now calls dark romance. If you'd asked me what that term meant a few years back, I would have described something involving a rain-drenched castle, maybe a brooding vampire lore, and definitely a lead who was a little too into velvet capes. My brain went straight to gothic aesthetic. I'm talking dark lace, ink-stained letters, and a deep tragic sense of longing. That was my understanding. Then my algorithm decided to humble me. I started seeing these TikToks with high-speed transitions, some dark music, and attractive people. I'm thinking, oh, this is cute, a little edgy, but okay. And then I read the text on the screen. And I read it again. And I felt like I was the odd one out for finding it weird. I would go into the comment section thinking someone would surely point out how terrifying the situation was, but everyone was just simping.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
It was like the whole internet had a collective amnesia about how human rights work. Because the things being described weren't just dark, they were straight up disturbing. And not in a fictional monster kind of way. In a very real, very human, very this would land someone in jail kind of way. And the weirdest part to me was that everyone else seemed completely fine with it. In fact, not just fine, excited. For a while, I honestly thought that maybe I was the problem. Like maybe I was too sensitive or just didn't get it. Because when thousands of people are calling something romantic, you start questioning your own brain. And then I found a few other people who were side-eyeing the same thing I was. And that's when it clicked. I wasn't the odd one out. The genre had changed. Dark romance didn't start like this, by the way. It used to be more about emotional intensity, power dynamics that stayed within some kind of narrative control, or even just slightly edgy love stories. Then came the internet, the Wattpad, then the whole mafia romance era where things started getting questionable, but still somewhat bearable, I guess. And then everything sped up. During COVID, people were stuck at home, endlessly scrolling, consuming content at a rate that honestly should be studied in a lab. That's when BookTok really exploded. And with it, certain books started going viral.
Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
One of the biggest turning points was Haunting Adeline, not because it invented anything new, but because it popularized a very specific type of dark, the kind that leans heavily into control, obsession, and violence, but frames it as desirable. And once that blew up, the rest followed. More books, more extremes, more shock value, more how far can we push this before people stop calling it romance. Spoiler alert, people didn't stop.
If you loved Haunting Adeline, this is going to be right up your street. Love interest, who is very R-E, and he does that to her a lot. And like kidnaps her. I have no idea how to rate this, so I'm not even going to try. What I am going to hope though is that this particular TikTok makes its way over to Super Spicy Dark Book Talk, because you guys are the pros.
So you're sitting here talking about a book where the male lead, who is supposedly the love interest, is a literal rapist who kidnaps and rapes the girl over and over again.
Bro, what the f***? Man, what the f*** is this shit, man?
What's up with this casual delivery? And the fact that you want this video to reach the pro-feeders of darker romance community so that others can feel the same thing as you do? Like, is this community that desensitized?
Really? I don't understand. I swear to God, I don't understand.
I feel a very specific type of exhaustion watching someone describe sexual violence as a tier of expertise. I'm confused. Confused about when being a pro meant building a tolerance for trauma. It's as if like we're discussing a spicy food. Oh, you can only handle Tabasco? Come back when you're ready for kidnapping and violation.
They taking you to jail. They taking you to prison, where you'll be locked up.
Of course, we have to talk about the man, the myth, the legend himself, Zade Meadows. If you, like me, somehow missed this in Haunting Adeline, this is the scene where he insinuates that he literally removed her IUD, an actual medical device in her body. Because he decided that it was time for her to have his baby.
What? Oh no, see, that's what we not about to do. Police, lock his ass up. Yes, you need to be under the jail. Like what? What you say? Yeah, arrest him immediately.
What makes it even messier is the pure hypocrisy of his character. This guy is portrayed as a vigilante who rescues children and victims from human trafficking. Essentially, he's supposed to be the ultimate defender of human rights, right? But then he turns around and does this. Total contradiction. I feel like it should be common sense that a man has zero claim over a woman's body, regardless of his reasons. To top it all off, he actually uses his own security company to stalk her and track her every move inside her own house.
The security footage showed nothing, just empty hallways and peaceful rooms, while Addie's stalker moved through her house like a wraith. Daya's face paled as she analyzed the corrupted feed. He spliced the cameras, Addie. This level of hacking? It's professional grade. Her fingers flew over the keyboard, chasing digital ghosts through layers of encryption. Whoever this is, they're not some obsessed fan. They're military trained or government level.
Okay, I was thinking about the intent of the writing here.
Help me! Help me!
If Zade is built as a character who values the lives and freedoms of total strangers, why is Adeline the only person who doesn't get to have a choice?
I'm confused.
Does saving lives in his day job really provide him a moral credit card to spend on terrorizing her at her own home? Come on, readers, I need answers.
Addie's coffee cup shattered against the floor. Military, government. The words echoed in her skull as she realized her situation was far worse than a simple stalker. She wasn't being hunted by some deranged admirer. She was being hunted by someone with resources, skills, and the ability to disappear anyone who got in his way, including her.
The hypocrisy is just sending me. Like it's hard to take a hero seriously when he spends his free time behaving exactly like the predator he claims to hate just to satisfy a...
First time I met him, he shoved me off a cliff. Like, on purpose? Yeah, but it's okay, because when he pulled me back up, he forced me to suck his dick.
I said, damn, bitch!
Oh, how romantic and terrifying.
Girl, forget about him getting on your nerves. He tried to delete your existence.
Oh my god, you for real? No, you for fake. No, you for real.
In any version of reality that involves physics and survival, being pushed off a cliff isn't a romantic first encounter.
It's not clicking. What's not clicking?
It's an attempt on your life. If he's pulling you back up, it's not some rescue mission. It's just him finishing off what he started. And of course, in this clip, the FMC is smiling while saying it. That alone should tell you everything. The tone is completely disconnected from the action.
Stop it. Get some help.
At night, he sneaks into the room that I share with his twin brother. And he f***s me while I sleep.
Oh, hell no! Hell no!
Girl, he sneaks into my house while I'm at work so we can film some of his thirst trap videos. What do you mean by sneaks? He doesn't have a key? No. So is he breaking in? Yeah, that's a felony.
See, this stealth obsession is everywhere now. The idea is supposed to be, he's so into me that he'll risk anything to be near me. But if a guy is sneaking into your private safe space, that is high-tier predatory stalking.
MC broke into her apartment to leave her flowers and a note that says you're mine. That's terrifying. You mean foreplay? Or a one-way ticket to a max security prison. He's probably a master hacker. He'll find his way out of it.
Yeah, it's scary how the lack of a door lock is being used to show intensity. It feels like these books are trying to train readers to ignore their basic safety instincts for the sake of a plot twist.
Lock his ass up! Lock his ass up!
So get this. He came into my college classroom, kicked everybody out. Then he had his two friends pin me to a chair where he f***ed me until I almost came, but then he stopped. And no teacher stopped it? No, he wasn't expelled. Oh.
Okay, so public assault in a classroom, no consequences, no accountability. And again, it's being delivered like a gossip, like it's something juicy.
Wow!
That contrast is the whole point. When you translate these romantic moments into real-life language, they stop sounding romantic immediately.
Are you playing with another man's cock?
Zero, turn off that lighter, or I'll...
You know what? Bad girls who leave men to die in burning basements are in no position to make threats.
Wrong! Oh my god, who wrote this dialogue? And how did the voice actor even keep a straight face while recording this?
Oh my god.
That's right, little ghost. I am your god. There's no higher power. I'll burn this whole place down if it means keeping you. And tonight, you'll pray to me for deliverance.
Oh my god, it is so bad. Like, it just sounds like a bad villain monologue from a show that got cancelled in its first week. Like, am I supposed to feel threatened? Ew, no, it just makes me want to crawl under my desk from the secondhand embarrassment. You know what? I'm not even shocked at this point. Because this genre keeps on confusing intensity with dominance and dominance with ownership. And people eat this shit up because it sounds powerful.
Trigger warnings, mass gangs, murder and death, gratifying punishments, edging, organ denial, voyeurism, spanking, use of objects as intimate toys, candle wax, knife play, dangerous games, violent car accident, blood, explicit scenes, all the nudity, fear of the dark, nightmares, bond.
That's right. Reading this shit like a restaurant menu because I'd be in disbelief as well. We've got assault, torture, violence, everything stacked together like the goal is to hit every extreme possible. And the reaction isn't fear. It's the excitement of hitting another dopamine.
Bitch, get the fuck out. Bitch, get the fuck out my fucking house, bitch.
That's the pattern. Escalation. The more extreme it gets, the more attention it pulls.
What?
Behind you!
Oh my god!
There's an interesting argument in media psychology about how we process these tropes differently depending on our age. Older readers usually have the life experience to see a toxic fictional lead as a total fantasy sandbox.
Oh, that's why.
They're not actually looking for that chaos in a real partner. But if we look at the teen audience on TikTok, the line between fiction and reality is a lot thinner. Without a fully developed judgment center, it's much harder to resist the idea that controls equals safety. I worry that by sanitizing these red flags into a vibe, this genre is essentially training younger readers to ignore their safety instincts. It makes it far too easy for an unhealthy dynamic to look like a romance because the logic they're being fed is that aggression is just intense love.
This is what the neck of a young woman looked like when I saw her in the ER, and she had bright red hemorrhages in her eyes as well. Let's talk about one of the most dangerous trends that no one seems to be talking about. Choking during intimacy.
Okay, I want to make one thing very clear before I show this next part. I'm not saying the people in this clip read these books or belong to this subculture. Their personal lives are their own, and I have total respect for that. But I'm using this video as a critical example because dark romance uses physical strangling and choking as a big and exciting trope of desire.
She told me that she was being intimate with her partner, he choked her, she blacked out, and she woke up with a sore neck and hoarse voice. Naturally, I started asking about safety, consent, whether this was assault, but she insisted that this was consensual. Apparently, this is becoming normalized online, especially in adult content, but this is way more dangerous than people think it is, and I'll explain why with a quick anatomy lesson.
In reality, the human body is fragile. Our boundaries can easily slip in the heat of a moment, knowingly or unknowingly. This ER doctor is explaining a real-world case of what happens when the biology of the body hits a limit that a book just ignores.
So the neck is not built to take that kind of force because it's mostly soft tissue, major blood vessels, and your airway. So if you apply enough pressure to cause bruising or to cause someone to lose consciousness, you can also cause a tear or a dissection inside the carotid artery, and this can cause a clot to form with a subsequent stroke or brain damage, sometimes hours or days later. A hoarse voice or noisy breathing could indicate that your airway has swelling or narrowing, and this can become life-threatening.
This is a very heavy reminder that real people don't have plot armor. In a dark romance book, the author will use words like breathless or devotional marking, but a doctor would call that a catastrophic injury.
And lastly, passing out indicates that your brain is literally starving of oxygen and nutrients. If you're choked for 10 to 20 seconds, you can lose consciousness, and if you're choked for 3 to 4 minutes, you can suffer permanent brain damage or die. The margin of safety for this is very small, so if you or someone you know engages in this kind of activity, just understand the risks. I'm Dr. Jeff, a board-certified ER doctor, and I share health insights that you can apply to your daily life.
Choking is inherently one of the highest risk behaviors because the gap between vibe and death is literally a few seconds. An artery can tear, a blood clot can form, and the person can suffer permanent brain damage or a stroke days later.
Are you serious right now, bro?
My concern is that by making these acts aesthetic goals, we're ignoring the physics of how bodies actually function. A dark romance author doesn't have to deal with the medical bills or the lifelong trauma of a physical accident. You do.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Look, I genuinely hope we see this phase pass quickly for most readers. Life is stressful enough in the real world. The last thing I need is a relationship that looks like a high-stake civil war. I want to value logic and peace again. A green flag guy isn't boring. He's just someone who doesn't require you to hire a detective. Authors can push boundaries, but authors and publishers need to realize they are responsible for the narratives they make desirable. And since we know publishers will print anything that makes them money, the responsibility actually falls on us.
Okay.
I really hope dark romance fans can grow out of this toxic obsession stage and start demanding romance that doesn't require a funeral plan. I'm choosing the safe path. Let's stick to characters who don't belong on an FBI's most wanted list for once. Anyways, I was almost done with the script when an idea hit me. Should we look into BookTok smut corner specifically? Give me your thoughts on it. Thanks for watching this video and sticking through this long logic session. Subscribe to support my mission to keep our brain cells alive. Alright, see ya.
Because I'm obsessed. I'm addicted. No matter. She won't be able to escape me now.